Okay, we're going to read chapter 4. I hope you're enjoying this story. Chapter 4. Inside the kitchen, Philip stared at Lena. Lena slid sideways on her bar perch and bobbed her head, staring back at him. "Lena's waiting for you to say something," said Alice. And there was a silence. "Okay," said Alice, "I'll do the talking. Lena, meet Philip." "Meet Philip," said Lena. Philip's eyes widened. He grinned and moved his hand for Alice to say something else. "Philip is a nice boy, Lena," said Alice. "Nice boy, Lena," said Lena. Philip laughed suddenly. It was the only sound we'd ever heard from him. It had burst out of him, somehow like music. It made me think of the cheerful sound of Daddy emptying the coins from his pockets onto the kitchen table. It made Lena laugh too. Cody came up and nosed Philip. Cody was nearly as tall as Philip, and somehow Philip looked small next to Cody, his skinny arm around Cody's neck. "Tomorrow May goes to her new home," said Alice. Philip frowned a bit. He reached out and patted May. She sniffed his face, making Philip close his eyes happily. Mama put sandwiches on the table. "Lie down, Cody." "Lie down, May," said Mama. "They can easily reach the table and eat your food," she added. "Food," said Lena. Philip ate quickly. He looked around the sunny kitchen at Lena and the dogs. I wondered what it was like eating with the Crofts next door. Was it quiet? Too quiet? One small boy with two grown-ups who didn't seem to know what to do with Philip. Of course, Alice the talker said it out loud. "I bet it's different next door," she said, not expecting Philip to answer. He didn't. "The spy and the queen next door eat at a long, dark table in a long, dark dining room," said Alice, making up a story. "They eat creamed spinach and liver." There was no talk. When there is talk, it is boring. "Nice day, dear. La la la. How do you like my tie? La la la. Lovely liver. La la la." The boy who lives with them bundles up the creamed spinach and liver in his napkin and puts it in his pocket. He throws it in the trash when the spy and the queen aren't looking. Philip grinned at his toasted cheese sandwich, but he didn't speak. Okay, let's go on and read chapter 5, because that one was kind of short. Chapter 5. "Car," said Alice, peering out the kitchen window. "Car," said Lena. Mama stood very still for a moment. "Okay," she said, "they're early." May knew the people who were adopting her. She had met them twice, once here and once at their house. I couldn't remember their last name, but their first names were easy. They were both named Tom, man and wife. "How can that be?" Alice had asked. "Two Toms?" "He's Tom and she's Tommy," said Mama. "Thomasina, I think." Alice snorted, and from that time on they were known as the two Toms. I watched them get out of the car. The man Tom smiled at the woman Tom who carried a pot of flowers. They walked up to the porch. May put her nose in the air and woofed. She was brushed. She was wearing her new green leather collar. Mama opened the door. When May saw the Toms, she ran to them and wagged her huge feathered tail. "May," the two Toms said. They often said the same thing at the same time. It seemed to cut down on confusion. "Don't allow her to jump up on you," warned Mama. "She's too big for that. Say off." "Off," said the two Toms. "Off," said Lena loudly. "Hi, Zoe. Hi, Alice," said the Tom woman. "Here's her leash," said Mama. She handed them a folder. "And here's the paperwork you'll need for your vet. A list of her vaccinations and early health records. You'll see she's healthy." The Tom woman leaned over and gave Mama a kiss on the cheek. She handed Mama the flowers. "We thank you. We'll keep in touch, Claire." "Call me if you have any questions," said Mama. "I'd like to hear how she's doing. She's a good girl." Surprisingly, it was Alice who had tears. She hugged May, who was loving all this attention, even though she didn't understand what was about to happen. I looked at Cody, who stood to the side. Tom the man went over and patted Cody, and Cody wagged his tail. But he knew. Cody always knew that when a new dog came, that dog would go away again. I moved over and I put my hand on his head. He looked at me with those smart black eyes. When the two Toms and May went out the door, Cody left me and walked to the window and looked out. He watched May stand by the car. We all stood there. May got into the back seat. She turned her head and looked at us for a moment, and then she was gone. It is dark night, only the night light glowing, when I feel something move next to me in bed. I turn over and see his big face next to my face. He has stretched out on my white down quilt, white on white. I smile in the dark and put my arm around his big, soft, furry body. "It's all right, Cody," I whisper. "There will be more dogs soon." Cody sighs a dog sigh. He sleeps. All is quiet again. And that's the end of that chapter.